We have the opportunity to spend some time with a lovely couple who are fourth generation oyster farmers, 5 o'clock every morning, 7 days a week, absolutely beautiful, and their product, world famous.
Batemans Bay is famous for some of our nation's best oysters, all farmed here on the Clyde River as part of the New South Wales South Coast. We were shown how every bit of this process is done by our mates Jade and Greg at the Oyster Shed on Ray.
Thank you very much for having us.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Paul.
Now, I love that you've got the retail business that people can come here, have a coffee, have an oyster, or 7 if they'd like to, feel free. But tell us, how long have you been on the river and oyster farming?
So I'm a 4th generation oyster farmer here in the Clyde River. Our little shed was actually built by my grandfather in 1957, and my dad took over at 21. My husband and I have just bought it in the last 2 years.
Wow.
So we've got a little bit of knowledge about the oysters and the industry. So
You've got him well trained. There he is, just do the work, shut up, I get it,
somebody's got to be the listener.
How does one go about farming oysters? How long is it, algae becomes food? Tell me the process.
The process. So oysters are quite woke, I should say, is that they actually start out as males until they reach 2 years of age, and then they go to female and revert back to male. So that's the start of their little lives.
The journey.
So their journey, that's right.
It's their truth.
They naturally reproduce in the water, so depending if they are at the male or female stage, they will release the sperm or the egg into the water.
Yeah, wow.
And then the fertilisation, so that's the birds and bees of it. They then float around, and we catch our oysters wildly. So this is the Sydney rock species, the native species to Australia that I'm talking about. We catch them on a plastic slat, so it's what we call the single seed method. So what we have here is some beautiful Sydney rock oysters that would be about 3 years old.
So of all of the places in all of the world, why Batemans Bay? Why is Batemans Bay the place for oysters?
Well, we're lucky in the fact that we are one of the cleanest waterways in Australia. We're 98% state forest and national park, so there's no pollutants here in our river system. We're fed from the beautiful Tasman Sea, so we've got that beautiful salty water, but you can see the mountain ranges here behind me. Fresh water right up the very top, so it's that brackish water system that creates an amazing growing environment for oysters.
Now's the moment of truth.
Now's the moment of truth.
Yeah.
So there's 2 ways you can actually open an oyster, and I'm going to show you the very first way. So it is the chef preferred way. What you do is you're putting the oyster knife in between the hinge there. Now I'm just wiggling the knife until the oyster knife will hold itself up. So that's how you know you've got a good amount of leverage underneath the oyster there. I'm going to push the handle down and bringing the blade up, so to use it as a lever.
Oh, wow.
Just like that.
Oh, wow.
So moving the knife around to the right-hand side, because that's where the abductor muscle is. It's attached to the top and the bottom of the shell. We've just cut that muscle off. So beautiful. Look at that beautiful ocean water.
It was a beautiful day out on the water. You've got to make sure that you get down here and experience this incredible part of Australia, but also make sure you sample the product.
Show me how it's done.
Look, everyone has a different way of doing it, but me personally, the way it is.
Bon appetit. Oh!